how your keyboard knows which key you pressed. Right now, your fingers are touching a piece of plastic. Plastic, no brain, no magic, and yet the exact letter you wanted just appeared on your screen in under 10 milliseconds. How does plastic know what you meant? Spoiler, it doesn't. And that's where it gets interesting. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Your keyboard is not waiting for you to press a key. It is constantly scanning every row, every column, dozens of times per second, right now. While you read this, your keyboard is running a loop. It's basically a very anxious security guard checking every door in a building, over and over, waiting for one to open. This is called a matrix scan. Think of your keyboard as a grid. Rows going left to right, columns going top to bottom. Every key sits at the intersection of one row and one column, like coordinates on a map. Row 4, column 7, that's the letter G. A tiny microcontroller chip, smaller than your thumbnail, zaps a small electrical pulse down each row, one at a time. While it zaps a row, it listens on every column. If a key is pressed, the circuit closes, current flows, the chip goes, got one. It now knows exactly which key was pressed, and it does this entire scan up to 1,000 times per second. That's called the polling rate. Press a key. Within 1 millisecond, detected. Done. Already sent. Your keyboard is lying to you right now. Not on purpose, mechanically. Every key shares a wire with 7 other keys. Press 3 wrong keys at the same time, and your keyboard reports a 4th key. One you never touched. This is called a ghost key. It is completely real. And the fix? A tiny one-way electrical valve called a diode. The ghost key problem sounds terrifying. Let's explain it simply. Imagine a grid of streets. Every intersection has a traffic light. Press 3 corners of a square at the same time. Electricity finds a sneaky shortcut through the 4th corner. Your keyboard thinks that 4th key was pressed. It wasn't. That's a ghost. The fix is a diode on every key. A diode only lets electricity flow one way, like a one-way street sign. Ghost? Blocked. Problem solved. Keyboards with diodes on every single key are called full N-key rollover keyboards. They can detect every key pressed at once, perfectly, no matter how many. This is the real difference between a cheap keyboard and an expensive mechanical one. Not the satisfying click sound, the tiny diodes. Now, what does your keyboard actually send to your computer? Not the letter A, not the word hello, not anything human readable. It sends a raw number called a scan code. It just says, position 30 in the matrix was activated. That's it. That's the whole message. Your operating system receives that number and looks it up in a table. The table says scan code 30 equals the letter A if you're using English layout, or Q if you're using French AZERTY layout. Same key, same scan code, different table, different letter. This is why switching keyboard layouts requires 0 hardware changes. You are not rewiring anything. You are just swapping the lookup table in software. The plastic never moved. Only the meaning changed. This system was designed by David Bradley at IBM in 1981. Bradley also invented Control-Alt-Delete, originally just a quick developer shortcut. He never imagined billions of frustrated people would be pressing it for the next 40 years. The keyboard has never heard of the letter A. It only knows that position 30 completed a circuit. Your operating system looked that number up and decided it meant A. Change the table. Same key, completely different letter. The plastic never knew what you meant. It never will. One last thing. What about holding a key down? Your keyboard doesn't keep sending signals the entire time. After about half a second, it enters key repeat mode and starts firing the same scan code over and over, about 30 times per second. Every backspace marathon you've ever had, that's this loop running quietly in the background. And wireless keyboards. They do all of this, then encrypt the scan code and fire it as a radio packet across the air to your USB receiver. That entire process adds about 1 to 8 milliseconds of extra delay. Barely noticeable for typing, very noticeable for gaming at 3 a.m. So here's where you started. A piece of dumb plastic. No brain, no magic. And here's where you actually are. A scanning grid, a scan code, a lookup table, a driver, an application. Your keyboard is not an input device. It is a coordinate detector. The meaning, that was always somewhere else.